All right, it's Wednesday, January 8th, 2025, and Donald Trump, in Trumpian fashion, coming out yesterday, making news, saying the United States plans to reclaim the Panama Canal from China's influence after building it, repairing it, and getting massively overcharged. We are now taking it back. Also, major wildfires erupting in SoCal yesterday. Authorities ordering evacuations, celebrities fleeing their homes. We're going to show you the latest. And establishment Washington freaking out about Trump's growing plans to acquire Greenland. We have some wild footage showing just how unhinged these people are. And the dollar skyrocketing again this morning off another bogus article. What the hell's going on with this? I smell a rat, folks. Someone in Washington's getting stinking, filthy rich off of this. But before we get started, thank you for liking and sharing these videos. Really helps out the channel, and consider subscribing so you don't miss these irregular updates. So, America is back. Donald Trump already running the country like a boss, laying out his policy agenda yesterday in this landmark press conference, saying the United States plans to reclaim the Panama Canal from China's influence after we lost 38,000 Americans during its construction, and we gave it away for $1. Jimmy Carter giving the Panama Canal away for $1 stinking dollar. Think about that. And the craziest thing about this is that the legacy media yesterday was trying to convince us, I mean, that's called gaslighting, right? That Jimmy Carter doing that, giving it away for $1, was his single greatest achievement as president. You can't make this up. Watch.
Welcome to Inside Politics. That was over an hour of Donald Trump giving a news conference, answering questions, and giving us some new information about what he intends to do, or at the very least is not ruling out when he takes office, including not ruling out a military invasion to conquer Greenland, the Panama Canal, and perhaps the annexation of the country of Canada as out of force.
Well, I mean, it was an extraordinary moment, one of the most extraordinary moments of that press conference, where he was refusing to rule out using military force to retake the Panama Canal, something that he himself brought up, I should note, in this press conference when a reporter later asked, why are you bringing this up? Obviously, it's a signature achievement of Jimmy Carter's. He's about to be lying in state here in Washington. Trump said he was asked about it, but Trump brought it up in his opening remarks. It's something that he's been quite fixated on behind the scenes, from what I've heard from sources in the past few weeks on this issue, complaining about Chinese influence. Obviously, this was a signature achievement of Jimmy Carter's. He believed it improved relations with Latin America for the United States. And still, it's one of his biggest accomplishments that people talk about.
The Panama Canal was one of the most profitable structures ever built, and Jimmy Carter gave it away for $1, and now Panama's overcharging us, overcharging our ships, our Navy, and allowing China to just skirt on by, according to Donald Trump, saying those days are officially over. Roll the tape.
Really great things. We're being respected again all over the world. The Panama Canal is a disgrace, what took place at the Panama Canal. Jimmy Carter gave it to them for $1. And they were supposed to treat us well. I thought it was a terrible thing to do. It was the most expensive structure ever built in the history of our country, relatively. It would be the equivalent of substantially over $1 trillion today. We lost 38,000 people. Think of it, 38,000 people, they died from malaria, mosquitoes. They were unable to stop the mosquitoes. They paid people 5 times more to take the job. Many of those people died. We gave it away for $1. But the deal was that, they have to treat us fairly. They don't treat us fairly. They charge more for our ships than they charge for ships of other countries. They charge more for our Navy than they charge for navies of other countries. They laugh at us because they think we're stupid. But we're not stupid anymore. So the Panama Canal is under discussion with them right now. They violated every aspect of the agreement, and they morally violated it also. And they want our help because it's leaking and not in good repair. And they want us to give $3 billion to help fix it. I said, well, why don't you get the money from China? Because China's basically taken it over. China's at both ends of the Panama Canal. China's running the Panama Canal. And they come to see this Biden, this guy who should never have been allowed even to run for president. Of course, she shouldn't have either, because that never happened. It had to be two people, not one. But they want $3 billion to fix the Panama Canal that's run by China and makes a lot of money, China. One of the most profitable structures ever built, because you have ships lined up back to Florida, frankly, and they just keep going through. And the numbers are staggering, $500,000 to $1 million a ship. And they took it away from us, meaning we gave it to them for $1. But not going to happen. What they've done to us, they've charged us, they've overcharged our ships, overcharged our Navy. And then when they need repair money, they come to the United States to put it up. We get nothing. Those days are over.
In another story, the Palisades fire continues to grow and rip through Southern California. As of last night, already consuming over 1,300 acres as wind speeds continue increasing. This fire is burning in Celebrity Alley, right? This is where all the celebrities live. This video posted by two men this morning who tried to stick it out, but at the last second had to flee their home. Rescue crews are now telling residents, stop leaving your cars in the middle of the road. Many people just abandoning their vehicles and taking the keys with them. Police saying, leave your keys in your car, otherwise you're blocking road crews and your cars will be destroyed. Yesterday, authorities using bulldozers to move all of the abandoned cars out of the way. It's a crazy story. Meanwhile, locals are now calling out Los Angeles Fire Department Chief Kristen Crowley after she changed department policy in 2022. 2-3 years ago, after becoming chief, she began to change hiring guidelines for new firefighters, prioritizing DEI and saying the goal is to recruit more women and gay firefighters. Watch this.
I'm super inspired.
She took time out of her already busy schedule to tell us about her vision for the department's future, one that includes a 3-year strategic plan to increase diversity.
People ask me, well, what number are you looking for? I say, I'm not looking for a number. It's never enough.
Out of 3,300 city firefighters, only 115 are women right now. She's already looking at ways to change that. She's quick to point out that doing so has a greater purpose, attracting the best and brightest for the job.
They feel included, they feel valued, and they feel part of a cohesive team.
The chief also checks another box when it comes to inclusivity and diversity at this department. She's a proud member of the LGBTQ community.
That just kind of opens the door of people that thought, wow, I didn't even know that was an opportunity for me.
Just crazy. The goal should be to recruit the best, most capable firefighters you can, not to meet some silly quotas. In another story, establishment Washington is freaking out after learning Trump is deadly serious about acquiring Greenland. We reported on this yesterday that Trump is 100% serious about this, that they're already working on it. Donald Trump Jr. flew to Greenland yesterday to hold a live stream and to meet with some of the locals, try to get a feel for his dad about how people on the ground felt about being colonized by the Danish government. What he found, Trump Jr., when he arrived, was a massive island with a very small population, just around 50,000 people, and overwhelming support for his dad. Residents coming out rocking their MAGA caps. Trump Jr. posting on X after his trip, Greenland loves America and Trump. Incredible people with an equally awesome reception. They just want to be able to utilize some of their incredible resources that they have and allow themselves, their country, and their kids to flourish. During Trump's press conference yesterday, Greenland came up, and he held no punches. The United States will be acquiring Greenland. Roll the tape.
Well, we need Greenland for national security purposes. I've been told that for a long time, long before I even ran. I mean, people have been talking about it for a long time. You have approximately 45,000 people there. People really don't even know if Denmark has any legal right to it. But if they do, they should give it up because we need it for national security. That's for the free world. I'm talking about protecting the free world. You look at, you don't even need binoculars. You look outside, you have China ships all over the place. You have Russian ships all over the place. We're not letting that happen. We're not letting it happen. And if Denmark wants to get to a conclusion, but nobody knows if they even have any right, title, or interest. The people are going to probably vote for independence or to come into the United States. But if they did do that, then I would tariff Denmark at a very high level.
Have you asked your staff to draw plans for action?
Well, as I'm sure you can imagine, the swamp creatures in Washington had a conniption over this. I don't think they realize just how serious Trump is. We did. We've been saying for over a month that Greenland and the Arctic will play a key role in the Trump administration's foreign policy and national security strategy. Colonel Douglas Macgregor, we pointed to, saying right after Trump won, right after his election, Trump's team already had their plan for Greenland put together, that it's happening, 100% happening. That's the plan, at least, that it needs to happen. It must happen. If it doesn't, if we don't acquire it, China or Russia will take it. And realize he's not doing this for shits and giggles. The Arctic is becoming a critical choke point for national and economic security. The Arctic shipping corridor is now opening, folks. That cuts 40% off shipping routes. Rare earth metals, rare earth minerals currently controlled by China. Over 95% of all rare earth minerals are mined where? They're mined in China. Well, in the last few years, there have been major discoveries on Greenland. So this is real. The consequences are real. If we don't do it, the consequences are real. You'd think our media and these career politicians would understand that, right? I don't think so. Watch as Scott Jennings completely rocks this frantic CNN panel as they melt down on air over Trump's Greenland push. Watch this.
But America is not an expansionist military power, not in the 21st century. Okay?
Why?
Because that's
Why not?
Because that's not the world that we live in.
Wait, hold on, Scott.
I know.
You answered that question.
Yes.
Why is the United States not?
So you're for attacking
Why
Greenland?
is the
Scott? Is that
United
what you're
States
saying?
not an expansionist military
You're
power?
just you're open to the idea of attacking Greenland?
We created.
No, we don't need to attack Greenland. We could
Scott,
buy it.
We can't buy it. It's not up for sale.
We
So
helped
what you're saying is
create
not
a world
true.
order.
Nothing.
in which-
Everything's not for sale until
Hang
it
on,
is.
Scott. We helped create a world order in which we said you cannot just decide you want that country and then take your military and go into that country and take it. Okay, so that is the era of not being in an expansionist military era for the United States. And you're saying that's not true. Why is it not true?
Well, I mean, you could think small if you want to. I think Trump's thinking big, and he's thinking about U.S. interests. There are U.S. interests in Greenland. They have rare earth minerals. We already have some kind of space facility there, and it would help fortify us against the Russians. The Panama Canal is, of course, of interest when you consider the Chinese incursions and influence in this hemisphere. What Donald Trump is saying to the world is, we are not a shrinking violet anymore. We are the United States of America. We are the preeminent superpower. And reporters keep asking him to rule things out and take things off the table. And it would be the height of stupidity to do so now or to anything else before he takes office. Why would he tell the rest of the world what he may or may not do?
Here's one reason why.
In another story, the U.S. dollar is surging this morning again after the world is beginning to realize that Trump is 100% deadly serious about his tariff plans. We reported this on Monday, how the Washington Post story was complete garbage, how there was no freaking way Trump was backing down or watering down his tariff policy. This is Trump's number one campaign promise, to bring back American jobs, to return the U.S. to a tariff-based system instead of an income tax system. And you can call Trump a lot of things, but do not call the man a liar. We called BS on that completely fake and disingenuous Washington Post article Monday, claiming Trump was backing down off his tariff policy. Then Trump posted on Truth Social calling it fake news. Well, now this morning, CNN getting a scoop, apparently, and reporting that the Trump team may use a national emergency declaration to justify broad-based tariffs, writing this morning, that Trump is considering declaring a national economic emergency to provide legal justification for a large swath of universal tariffs on allies and adversaries. And just like the Washington Post fake 3 anonymous sources they claimed, CNN decided to step it up a notch, citing 4 anonymous sources familiar with the matter. Is this true? I don't know. I don't think Trump needs to do this. He has complete authority as president to decide trade policy and levy tariffs on whoever he wants. Why he would even need a national emergency to do it, I have no idea. Anything the legacy media prints with anonymous sourcing. Just assume they're phishing, folks, that their story is fake, that they're fishing for information, hoping Trump responds and reveals new, not yet public information. And what we're also seeing with this is that currency trading right now is popping off. The dollar is volatile, extremely volatile. Markets not sure what to make over Trump's tariff threats. And any reporting one way or the other moves the dollar bigly. I'd be very curious if anyone in Washington's taking out big currency positions before these articles drop. Bottom line, Trump's tariff policy is for sure happening. It is happening. And after hearing him at his presser yesterday, he's not backing off of anything. All right, that wraps up this episode. Like, subscribe. We'll see you next time.